It's on, isn't it?
Oh, and we're on.
We're on.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Whitehall City Council meeting for September 6th, 2022. If I could ask you all to please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Aug, would you please call roll?
Elmore. Coniston.
Present.
Cantor.
Present.
Peck.
Present.
Smith.
Present.
Bailey.
Present.
Dixon.
Present.
President Potter.
Present. This time I now take a motion to excuse our absent member.
Mr. President, move to excuse the absent member.
Second.
There's been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Cantor to excuse our absent member. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston.
Yes.
Cantor.
Yes.
Peck.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
The absent member has been excused. At this time, I would accept a motion for the approval of the August 16th, 2022 agenda and regular meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
There's been a motion by Ms. Coniston, second by Ms. Cantor for the approval of the minutes. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston.
Yes.
Cantor.
Yes.
Peck.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Minutes have been approved. At this time, there's a special presentation by Mayor Maggard on the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month Proclamation. Mayor, if you would.
Thank you very much. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and I felt it was important. I was asked to give a proclamation. And whereas the City of Whitehall is committed to bringing awareness to the public, whereas childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease in children, and whereas 1 in 285 children in the United States will be diagnosed by their 20th birthday with cancer, and whereas 43 children per day, or 15,780 children are diagnosed with cancer annually in the United States. And whereas 2/3 of childhood cancer patients will have chronic health conditions as a result of their treatment toxicity, with 1/4 being classified as severe to life-threatening. And whereas approximately 1/2 of childhood cancer families rate the associated financial toxicity due to out-of-pocket expenses as considerable to severe. And whereas researchers and healthcare professionals work diligently every day with help from nonprofit organizations at local and national levels, including the Friends of Faith Pruden Foundation. And whereas children are affected by this deadly disease, and more must be done to raise awareness and find a cure. And now, therefore, the City of Whitehall grieves for the loss of Jace Blanton, who is the son of Alicia Blanton, and all children that are and have been affected by childhood cancer. Thank you so much, and please remember that childhood cancer is everywhere. We must do more to stop this disease. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, this is our first poll public of the evening, and I would just ask folks that'd like to come forward to please state your name, your address, and you'll have 3 minutes to talk.
Good evening, Council. Joy Bivens, 4985 Drill Avenue, Whitehall, Ohio.
Sean Malingo, 2384 Mayor Drive, Columbus, Ohio.
So, Council, tonight we come before you as citizens of Franklin County, not in our formal titles, to ask for this council to support the senior options levy that will be on the ballot November the 23rd. This city is one of the many cities, or one of the few cities that has such a strong senior service organization. It is a no-tax levy. It will serve over 60,000 seniors in 2023. The request has been made to put a 1.75 milliliter senior services levy renewal on the ballot for November the 8th. Again, this is a no-tax increase. It is what you're already paying. Many of the services that seniors receive through this levy will be the Meals on Wheels program, the home improvement program, as well as the supportive services that seniors receive in their home. It goes without saying that the senior population within Franklin County is ever increasing. It is these types of services that our seniors, who many times are our vulnerable residents, really need the supportive services that are supported through this tax levy. So we would ask not only that you support it, but you will endorse it as a community and as a council. We will be coming back at a later time to take a picture, if you choose to support this, with our senior options levy. And I believe the ballot number will be ballot number issue 10.
Okay, issue 10.
Thank you very much.
Is that it? Is that all I have to do?
That's all I have to do.
You still got another 45 seconds.
Oh, without passage of this levy, senior options will end its access to its valuable resources. Thank you.
Excuse me, I didn't get the other lady's name.
Sean?
Shonda Wingo.
Lingo?
Shonda Wingo.
W-I-N-G-O.
Wingo, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
I support that levy 100%, just so you know.
I think, yes, absolutely. I just have anybody else in the audience for poll public, so we'll move on to our standing committee reports. Administration and Financial Management, Chairperson Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration and Financial Management did meet 2 weeks ago on August the 23rd. We have a number of items to be introduced tonight for consideration. We will meet again next Tuesday sometime after 6:30, and our minutes are on file from the 23rd.
Thank you. Community and Elder Advocacy, Chairperson Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Community and Elder Advocacy met 2 weeks ago. Our minutes are on file. We have nothing on the agenda tonight, and we'll be meeting next week sometime after 6:30.
Very good. Community Standards and Enforcement, Chairperson Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President. Community Standards and Enforcement met 2 weeks ago. Our minutes are on file, and we will meet again next week.
Great. Economic Development, Chairperson Cantor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Economic Development met August 23rd. Our minutes are on file. We'll meet again next week in the back.
Very good. Infrastructure, Maintenance and Services, Chairperson Coniston.
Thank you, President Potter. Infrastructure Maintenance and Services also met a couple weeks ago. Our minutes are on file, and we'll meet again next week.
Very good. Public Safety, Chairperson Elmore's not here, but Mr. Bailey has kindly offered to fill in her absence.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Public Safety also met 2 weeks ago. They had no items of legislation. The minutes are on file. We'll meet again next week sometime after 6:30.
Thank you. And Parks and Recreation, Chairperson Heck.
Thank you, Mr. President. Parks and Recreation met 2 weeks ago. Our minutes are on file. We have nothing on the agenda tonight, and we will meet again next Tuesday sometime after 6:30.
Very good. Official reports, Mayor Maggard.
Good evening, and I hope everyone enjoyed their Labor Day, and certainly was good to recognize what the work of everyone that it takes to uplift the United States, and I appreciate the work of all. I'd just like to say Ms. Bivens has inspired me, and I will bring a draft resolution to council next week for support of issue 10. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you. City Administrator Woodruff.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no official report this evening.
Thank you. City Attorney Bivens.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. The City Attorney's Office in the month of August prosecuted 241 cases. There is an upward trend. Thank you, Mayor, as well as Chief Crispin, for thinking outside of the box so that we could resolve some of the issues that were occurring in Mayor's Court that had those numbers declining, but we have an upward trend based on the results. But as a result of the 241 cases, only 34 of them total combined in municipal court and Mayor's Court were committed by Whitehall residents, so that's about 14%. When you fold that into just Mayor's Court by itself, it's about 10% of those cases in Mayor's Court were Whitehall residents of a criminal nature. I was very inspired, Mayor, by what you said as a result of the proclamation regarding childhood cancer awareness, but I piggybacked off of a conversation I had with City Administrator Woodruff earlier as it relates to our city, and many times I've said this so many times of how much I love the city and how we are such a close-knit community that knows each other, and things that affect one of us many times affects all of us. And a lot of things, and I was wondering if I was even going to say anything about it, but I believe I should, just out of an abundance of caution, with this being Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Suicide is one of the 12th leading causes of death in the United States. I have not personally been affected by it, but I have friends who have been, and it is devastating. And all I want to say to members of council, to anyone that's listening, if you or your family members are struggling with any issues as it relates to suicide, you can call 988. The number is just easily 988, and there will be a counselor that will be ready and willing to listen to you, as well as give you tips and advice as it relates to how to help your family members. And if you're not comfortable with speaking to someone, you can text 741-741, and that counselor will, on your phone, speak to you and speak through to you to help you through this very, very, very significant disease that occurs. And we have to destigmatize it by speaking it out loud. So therefore, I'm speaking it out loud tonight, and I would hope that you, Mr. President, members of council, as well as any members of the public, join me in trying to prevent, to the best that we can, the unnatural cause of suicide in our communities. So I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you, Mr. President, for giving me this time.
Well, I'd like to in turn thank you for bringing that up, because that is very, very important, and definitely need to be there for those who are going through some level of depression or other mindset that makes them think that way. So thank you. Alderman Quinzel.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. We have completed our employment process in the auditor's office. We have 2 new hires. Accounting specialist Shelley Clark started this morning, and next Monday, tax clerk Shelley Wittes will begin her employment with the city. Other than that, I just ask for your consideration on the ordinance 57-2022 and resolutions 27, 29, and 30, 2022.
Very good. Director of Public Service Greg is not with us this evening, and that brings us to Treasurer Alexander. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Mr. President, members of council. No official report, just like to echo what Auditor Quinzel shared with you all, and say it's good to be back, and I like what you've done with the place.
Thank you. The following official reports have been filed in the council office since our last meeting, and that includes three items. First being the Treasurer's Investment Report for February 2022, the Treasurer's Activity by Fund Report for February 2022, and the Treasurer's Fund Reconciliation Report for February 2022. Under Communications, Petitions, and Claims, we have one item, that being the agenda for the Whitehall Planning Commission of September 1st, 2022. Ms. Aug, would you please call roll so that each member of council is given a copy of each item of legislation listed on the agenda prior to the meeting, and including any add-on legislation.
Coniston? Yes. Cantor?
Yes.
Peck?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Thank you. Under third reading, we have one piece of legislation, and that would be Resolution 25, 2022, approving the recommendations of the City of Whitehall Tax Incentive Review Council for tax year 2021.
Mr. President, I would like to introduce Resolution 25, 2022, and move for the adoption, please.
Second?
There's been a motion by Mr. Cantor, second by Mr. Dixon for the adoption of Resolution 25, 2022. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Peck?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Resolution 25, 2022 has been adopted. Under second reading, we have got no legislation this evening, which brings us to our first readings, and that would start with Ordinance 53, 2022, which will be read by title only. which is authorizing and approving a supplemental appropriation in the total amount of $230,000 from unappropriated monies in the General Fund 101 to the following general fund expense accounts and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 54, 2022 will also be by title only, and there will be a public hearing on October 4th, 2022. And this ordinance is amending the zoning map attached to Chapter 1122 of the 1970 codified ordinances of the City of Whitehall, Ohio, and is subsequently amended, allowing a special permit under 1123.12C5 to allow Magic Real Estate Holdings LLC to operate a paintless debt removal facility at a property located at 4629, 4645, 4651 Poth Road, and 181A, B, C, D, J, N, and P North Hamilton Road property owned by HCI Midwest LLC. Ordinance 55, 2022 will also be by title only, and that's authorizing and approving the amendment to the authorized table of personnel 161.37E2 titled Police Division. Ordinance 56, 2022, authorizing a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $30,000 from previously unappropriated monies in the General Fund 101 to Community Affairs Expense Account 101.200.56,100 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 56, 2022, and move for suspension of rules.
Second.
There's been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Cantor, to introduce ordinance 56, 2022, and for suspension of rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Cantor. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Ordinance 56, 2022 has been adopted. Ordinance 57, 2022, authorizing a supplemental appropriation in an amount of $10,000 from unappropriated monies in the General Fund 101 to the election expense account 101.950.59,000, and a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $20,000 from previously unappropriated monies in the Wimpeni Fund 279 to the TIF fees expense account 279.000.59,600 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 57, 2022, and move for suspension of rules.
Second.
Been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Dixon to introduce ordinance 57, 2022, and for suspension of all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion to adopt by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Dixon. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Ordinance 57, 2022 has been adopted. Resolution 27, 2022, resolving to approve then and now certificates and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce resolution 27, 2022, and move for suspension of rules.
Second?
Been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Ms. Heck, to introduce resolution 27, 2022, and for suspension of all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second?
A motion to adopt by Mr. Bailey, second by Ms. Heck. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston?
Yes.
Cantor?
Yes.
Heck?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Resolution 27, 2022 has been adopted. Next, we have Resolution 28, 2022, and this will be read by title only. This is to authorize the mayor to file an application with the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission for the purpose of acquiring funds through the MORPC and Treatable Federal Funding Program for transportation improvements. Resolution 29, 2022, accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission, authorizing necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I would like to introduce Resolution 29, 2022, and move for the suspension of the rules, please.
Second?
There's been a motion by Mr. Cantor, second by Ms. Smith, to introduce Resolution 29, 2022, and for the suspension of all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Heck,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move for adoption, please.
Second?
A motion to adopt by Mr. Cantor, second by Ms. Smith. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Heck,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution 29, 2022 has been adopted. Our final piece of legislation this evening is Resolution 30, 2022, approving revisions to the investment policy of the City of Whitehall and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce Resolution 30, 2022, and move for suspension of all rules.
Second?
There's been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Ms. Coniston, to introduce Resolution 30, 2022, and for suspension of all rules. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Heck,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
The rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second?
Been a motion to adopt by Mr. Bailey, second by Ms. Coniston. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Heck,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution 30, 2022 has been adopted. This now brings us to our second poll public of the evening, which, seeing as our gallery is empty, I will move on to Community Date Board. I'll open that up to,
Wednesdays in September from 6 to 7, there's hours with the Rangers, or Ranger at the YMCA. There's archery this Saturday, the 10th, from 10 to 11:30 as well. And you can sign up for that online.
Nope.
Nothing yet.
We have Whitehall Rams football game this Friday night at Grandview. Good ball club. Go check them out. In fact, you can do that the next week, which is the 16th, which is our homecoming. And they'll also have some special people there from the history of the Rams who have all been All-Americans, All-Ohio first team throughout the season. They played a good Marion team this past week, and they won. And when the school strike was going on in Columbus, we played a very, very talented, fast, quick Dayton Dunbar, who's always tough, and Whitehall won that game too. So don't wait for a special event or an election to come see the Rams play. Get out and watch them here. Thank you, Mr. President, that's all I got.
thank you. Anything?
Oh,
Sorry, one more thing. For homecoming, the homecoming parade is next Wednesday. I believe it's at 6.
Wednesday, Thursday?
I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday, but check out the website. It will be posted on the Facebook page and everything.
If there's nothing else, I will move on to poll council. And we'll start with Ms. Coniston.
Thank you very much. So thank you, everybody, for watching. And we missed you, Michael. So, love.
Thank you.
That's it.
Mr. Cantor.
That's it. Thank you, Mr. President, thank you all for coming. Joy and Shauna, thank you for coming in. Yes, issue 10 is definitely a no-brainer. I hope everybody supports that. It's nice to have our treasurer back. You look good, getting your reports done, coming back up to speed. Welcome back. And yes, this came out of the treasurer's fund, just so you know, on our improvements. So,
Not much left there then.
well, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds
good.
and
They'll teach you.
that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank
Girls,
you.
I'll see you soon. I love you.
Ms. Heck.
I can't follow that. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for everybody watching from home. Thank you for the information on issue 10, and that's all I have.
Very good. Ms. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President. I echo what my colleagues have said. I never know what to add. Thank you for those who came in earlier to speak about issue 10, and for those watching at home. That's all I have.
Very good. Mr. Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd just like to thank the city attorney and the mayor for their comments tonight, two very important subjects, and yes, we will support issue 10. That's all I have.
Absolutely. Mr. Dixon, bring it home.
Thank you, Mr. President. Never being one at a loss of words, it's not hard for me to be last. A couple things. I wanted to thank Ms. Bivens and Ms. Wingo for their statement. about issue 10. The only thing I didn't get was, she said that they were going to come around to get photos of people with a sign, and I don't know when that was, so if anyone knows that, just let me know. I also wanted to thank the mayor and city attorney for their comments, raising awareness about the kids' cancer and suicide. Depression and suicide is something that I'm familiar with. The depression part, I've had my share of troubles, but I've also known some people that have committed suicide, and so it strikes very close to home. It's a very, very involved subject. I'm glad that there are resources out there for people to partake in, and it's so complex that I don't even know what to say, and I can only say thank you for bringing awareness to that fact, that it's very vital. And then, I think other than that, Mr. Alexander, I'm so glad to see you back. I was concerned about what had happened, and I was inquiring about your health, and I'm glad that everything was okay. And other than that, that's it.
I think it's been pretty well stated. I would like to thank Joy and Shauna for coming out. Very important issue. Absolutely will have our support. And again, to the mayor and the attorney for their comments as well. Having nothing further, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President, move to adjourn.
Second.
Been a motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Cantor for adjournment. Any discussion? Ms. Aug, please call roll.
Coniston.
Yes.
Cantor.
Yes.
Peck.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
And we're adjourned at 7:26.